Well, we're coming nearly to the end of the service here at Naturena, and earlier on we heard from the chairperson of the region, Park Stow, who also emphasized that probably maybe losing Johannesburg, losing the city of Tshwane, maybe losing Nelson Mandela Bay was a good thing for the ANC to start reflecting ahead of the National Policy Conference. And he was then followed by the chairperson of the ANC in Gauteng, Paul Mashatile, who actually is joining me right now. Good afternoon, sir. Earlier on, when you opened your remarks, you spoke to Park Stow and referred to him as my executive mayor. You said that he remains your executive mayor. Why was that?
Well, firstly, let me once again convey my condolences to the families of Mthembu and Ladla. May the Lord give them strength. Yes, when I spoke earlier, I said to Comrade Park Stow, my executive mayor, because I believe he has done very well. If you look at all the programs in Joburg, whether it's Josie at Work, Corridors of Freedom, whatever they did, I think they did very well. The opposition fought their campaign on national issues, which had nothing to do with Comrade Parks. And therefore, it's a wake-up call for the ANC that we should address those issues. If we want to reclaim moral authority, get the confidence of our people back, we must address the issues that they were raising, the issues that the opposition made an issue in this campaign.
And one of those issues is e-tolls, and you spoke about it here, and you say that that system must be done away with, because you kept on emphasizing that the people have spoken. They've said that this system is too expensive.
Most definitely. We had said at the ANC Gauteng that the system should be reviewed. David Makura came up with a commission. Even afterwards, people said it's still not affordable to them. We went back to the national leadership to indicate that. So we want to go back to them and say, I think we should do away with the system, find another way of funding our roads and transport infrastructure, because this is not working for us. But there are other issues that people on a daily basis continue to raise. The issues of corruption, maladministration in parastatals. The ANC nationally must address those issues. Issues of state capture. When the allegations were made, we were quick to say people didn't come forward, and therefore the investigation is closed. But it's quite clear, but in the eyes of the people, those things are not closed. And the sooner the ANC takes to that reality and address those issues, the better. Otherwise, we continue to live in denialism.
How does the ANC then open this the investigation into state capture when the Secretary General has already said that they couldn't find any evidence? On what grounds do you then reopen an investigation on state capture?
Well, for as long as this issue is not closed in society, I think we should find a way of reopen. Even if it's not the Secretary General, perhaps it must be something that is done in the state, where a committee is led to look at these issues, because it's clear that they remain an issue amongst our people. We don't want to go into the elections in 2019 with this thing still hovering above our heads. I think our people must see that we are serious, we are addressing these issues, we have heard their cries, and we want to renew the ANC to be the kind of organization that is humble, that is not arrogant, as people say we have become too arrogant. We must change all that to win back the confidence of the people.
Another issue that the opposition used during the election campaign was President Jacob Zuma's homestead, saying that in Nkandla money was stolen and so forth. That was an issue that Gauteng, the ANC in Gauteng, has also raised. Do you think that the issue was handled properly with the NEC deciding that the branches should decide whether the president should be recalled or not?
Well, remember when the issue of Nkandla happened, we as the ANC in Gauteng did express our views. One of the things we said as late as last year was that we thought the money should be paid. But at the time, the ANC National was not convinced. We went to Parliament until the President himself decided to pay. We could have handled it better. And I know that the opposition continue to use this thing. So the ANC must work much smarter in future, address issues even no matter how difficult they are. We must not bury our heads in the sand. We must confront them head on, give strong leadership. That's how we're going to win our people back.
Are those the self-inflicted wounds that you were speaking about earlier on?
Yes, some of them. There are many others, including the way we manage some of our list processes. As I said, in some areas our members did not accept candidates who were popular in communities. We have already decided in the ANC that we need to renew the way we elect our public representative. We need to come up with a new system. So all these issues must be addressed as soon as possible, even ahead of the policy conference next year. People must see that we mean business.
Just finally, Chairperson Mashatile, before I let you go, we've heard the calls from the ANC Youth League for an early elective conference. Do you think that the party is ready for such?
My province has not yet discussed it. My own view is that conference don't really solve problems. If an early conference is for factions within the ANC to slog it out and outlast one another, that conference won't be useful. We need a conference where we'll go there united, where we've ironed out all these issues that we are raising, and be able to then elect leadership that will be able to take forward. But if it's the conference where we're going to go and try and see which faction is better than the other to take over, then we're doomed.
And when does the ANC in Gauteng then start the discussion around who should be the person that succeeds President Jacob Zuma?
Well, this coming weekend we're going to have a 3-day PEC where we're evaluating the election results and looking at all these other issues. We will see if the issue of succession will come out in that debate.
Thank you so much. Well, that is the chairperson of the ANC in Gauteng, Paul Mashatile, speaking there on the self-inflicted wounds that the ANC had suffered over the elections, raising the issue around e-tolls. We know the concerns around e-tolls. It is a controversial system that the opposition has used during campaigning for the elections, and as well, Nkandla is another issue. It's another thorny issue, and also emphasis there that the PEC will be meeting later this week to discuss. Reflect rather on the elections and probably the issue around who should be the person that succeeds President Jacob Zuma. Earlier on also we spoke to the regional executive member of the ANC here in Joburg, who also indicated that the REC in Joburg will be meeting on Tuesday, and they will be having discussions around the issue around the calls for an early elective conference, which is something that the ANC Youth League has called for, of course. It's back to you in studio.
Thank you very much.